All right, so this is a demonstration of some of the work we're doing with nursing simulation that combines different AI technologies. I'm going to get started in this virtual scenario here. The first part gives us an introduction to the scenario with some learning objectives. We were able to leverage ChatGPT to help in the composition of this information. It reviewed the case studies that we developed and then came up with aligned learning objective language for us. I'll proceed from here and we'll get our handoff report.
Please provide morning cares for the residents in rooms 101 through 106. Alejandro Hernandez in room 101 has heart failure and will need his TED hose applied before he gets out of bed. He is very hard of hearing.
You can see that we added interactive elements to this video. So as the nurse goes over different patients, I can click on the items that appear on the screen to get more information about each patient.
And Shulin in room 102 has COPD and should have her nasal cannula in place at all times. Carolyn Smith in room 103 has moderate to severe dementia and tends to become agitated at bath time.
I'll point out that the technology that we use to create this handoff report is actually 4 different AI technologies. We leveraged ChatGPT to help us come up with the script for what the nurse says. We then fed that script into a platform called play.ht that is able to make human-like audio. We used Midjourney in order to create the nurse's face. And then we used a platform called DID, which was able to take that human-like voice and the Midjourney face and combine them and lip sync them so that we have an animated finished product.
It helps to use validation therapy as described in her plan of care. Dakota Thunderhawk had a stroke with left-sided residuals, so he is weak on his left side. It takes him time to process his thoughts and speak. Don Myers requires total cares and a mechanical lift to transfer him out of bed. He is nonverbal, but there should be a communication board in his room. Marianne Johnson has diabetes with a left below-the-knee amputation and a prosthesis that should be applied before she goes to the dining room for breakfast.
Okay, so once again, I can click on these to get information about each patient. But of course, we also have this information available if the learner proceeds into the case study so that they can go back and reference it. So I'll click on Proceed. That will bring us to the first slide in the scenario. Here we can click to get an overview of all of the patients. This information will actually follow the student throughout the entire experience, so at any point they can go back and reference details about each patient. If I click on Proceed in the top right, it's going to ask me which patient I would like to visit first. And so I'll go to room 101 and we'll look at Alejandro.
The nursing assistant enters room 101, greets Alejandro, and observes Alejandro is straining to hear and appears visible.
I'll also point out that the closed captions are currently turned off, but I can turn those on. All of the videos in this scenario do have accurate closed captioning. It was helpful in utilizing ChatGPT to ensure the closed captions are grammatically correct and have appropriate punctuation.
Visibly upset. He says the following.
What do you want? I didn't call for anything.
And just like with the nurse, we use the same process for the creation of the patients. So now I'm brought to my first question based upon the video that we just watched. I can click on this button here to view the question. In this case, it is a select all that applies question. So I can go through and indicate what I feel the correct answers would be. And once I'm done, I'll click on check, and it lets me know if I got the correct answers and also provides me some feedback based upon my response. I can now proceed to the next portion. Here it gives us more comprehensive rationale as to what the appropriate actions would be. It also provides information on why the incorrect interventions would not be the correct course of action.
The nursing assistant recognizes Alejandro's hearing distress and ensures Alejandro's hearing aids are in place, provides a well-lit environment for lip reading, and creates a quiet and calm environment. Positioning themselves in front of Alejandro, the nursing assistant maintains direct eye contact to facilitate understanding and uses simplified language, speaking in short sentences. The nursing assistant states, "I understand you may be feeling upset. Let's take our time and get you dressed comfortably before breakfast. We'll go step by step." Through their empathetic approach, the nursing assistant successfully gains Alejandro's cooperation while assisting him in getting dressed, being mindful of his comfort and preferences.
Okay, and now I will proceed to the last question for Alejandro. So once again, I'll click on this button. It asks me how I want to document his situation. So I can choose my answer. Let's see. I believe it might be that one. Yes, that is the correct answer. Okay. So now I can click on proceed. Once again, it provides me rationale about why the correct answer is correct and why the incorrect answers would not be appropriate. Once again, we did leverage ChatGPT to help us in the creation of these rationales. However, it's very important to highlight that we had subject matter experts review all of the content that we got out of ChatGPT and made sure to vet this content to ensure it is factual, accurate, aligned to the objectives of the case study, and just making sure that all content that we include is appropriate. So I'll click on proceed, and now it asks me which patient that I would like to see next. We'll go through one more example.
The nursing assistant enters room 102 and notices that Chen appears frustrated and has removed her oxygen nasal cannula. Chen says,
"I hate this thing. It hurt my nose. Why I have to wear it all the time?"
You'll also notice that we do make an effort to ensure that the voices used for each patient are culturally appropriate. There are limitations with regard to the amount of voices we have at our disposal that do sound like human voices, but also have appropriate accents and speech patterns. But that said, we're definitely looking to expand as much as we can to have a diverse pool of patients to work with. Okay, and so just like before, I can click on this button here to view the questions. I'll click on check. Okay, there is my answer and the feedback. I'll proceed. Again, rationale, explaining why that is the appropriate choice. Proceed once again.
The nursing assistant acknowledges Chen's discomfort and initiates a discussion about her feelings towards the nasal cannula, taking the time to explain the importance of oxygen in managing her overall health. The nursing assistant also reflects on Chen's answers and collaboratively seeks a solution that could make wearing the cannula more comfortable for her. The nursing assistant says, "I understand the nasal cannula can feel uncomfortable. Let's try wearing it as you get ready for breakfast, and we can adjust as needed. It's really important for your breathing." With the nursing assistant's patient and empathetic approach, Chen eventually agrees to wear the cannula.
All right, and then I'll proceed, and we get to our final question here of how we document her situation. So this is just an example of how we're leveraging a combination of different generative AI platforms in order to create really engaging and next level virtual simulations. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and thank you very much.